Is it live yet, nigga?
Not yet.
I bet you it's live.
You know when it's live.
No, I bet you it's live now. It's live right now. We live. I know it's live. Come on.
Y'all gonna twerk?
Yeah, we gonna twerk. You want to twerk? She gonna join with us. All right, we gonna all look. We gonna look bad together.
We live now.
We gonna look bad together. Come on, twerk. Come on, real quick.
I'm not.
All right, come on. Let's just try it. Come on.
I don't want to chicken out.
Anybody twerking with me? You gonna twerk okay? You gonna have me look real suspect.
All by yourself.
Nigga, you was already suspect. Yeah, I was already kind of suspect. All right, here we go.
You gonna bring us in or no?
Who's coming? Where you going? I'll be back. You can't miss my intro. This nigga. Let's see you coming up there. Yeah, damn.
Yes.
Oh shit! God damn! Look at the audio response to the mic. I don't think they ever hear anything. They just hear static.
That's probably it, actually.
We are live in the motherfucking building.
Yes, sir.
In the building, we are live.
Yes, sir.
Live in the building.
Yes, sir.
Who do we have on set today?
Should have read it.
Nina. I'm gonna call you Nina Simone.
Okay.
Even though I just like it. It's like the good 1-2 punch. That's not your name. Name is Nina Renee, right? I got it right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Let's give her a hand clap. Hey. So how long you been doing crack?
3 years.
3 years. All right. That's the show. She's no longer doing crack. Thank you so much for coming on.
She can't
Thank
do
you
crack.
for having me. I'm happy to be here.
She can't do crack.
She probably allergic to crack.
Let's talk about it.
No,
Yeah, so
that's
we
one thing I'm not allergic to.
as before we always go live with these shows, we like to do a little prep, just digging the brains of our people that we got coming on, and we find out that you're allergic to smoke, or is it weed smoke?
Smoke. It's all smoke.
All smoke. Mm-hmm. So all smoke matters is what you're saying.
Yes.
She's allergic to things.
How the fuck did you find this out?
Right.
Just from people smoking around me, and I would get a sore throat and
everybody gets sore
Yeah,
throat.
sore throat is like regular.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But still, just sore throat, runny nose, like just.
Oh
feeling
yeah,
like
you
I
get a
have
runny
cold.
nose off of smoke.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Got teary eyes and all that stuff.
So
never
does that
smoked.
count? Like,
No,
ain't no smoke.
Yeah, we'll turn that out.
That's
When you blow it out, maybe.
But sometimes, like sitting at fire pits or in front of a fireplace, that can bother me too.
Oh wow.
Damn. So let's find out ways if she was taken on a date and he didn't know she was allergic to smoke, it would fuck the whole night up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she's not just allergic to smoke.
What else?
I got a whole long list.
Wow.
She's allergic to
Y'all want me
gluten.
You allergic? Well, gluten that's cool to be allergic to. Like that's a health smoke.
Yeah.
She's allergic to Thanksgiving food.
No, that's not true.
Chicken and hot sauce.
Well, I tell you what.
You're allergic to chicken?
No.
Oh shit.
Look, he's about to have a whole fit over
But
there.
celery. I'm allergic to celery.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You're allergic?
Yeah.
That's water.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Well, it's something in there. Something in there.
Well, she started sneezing and her eyes started watering up. We know she's allergic to black people too, though, right?
No.
She's coming.
Well, I found out I was allergic to celery when I was 16 because I used to eat the celery sticks all the time. And then one day I ate one and then my lip got huge. Like it was like 5 times the size that it was. So I ate it at school. And then
Imagine that shit. Yo, I can't come to school because I ate some celery. Niggas would be like, you lying like a motherfucker.
I mean, have y'all seen Nutty Professor?
Hold on, you couldn't go to school?
I couldn't go to school because it was embarrassing
Jesus
to
Christ.
have a big ass lip.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
You ever had your lips?
Marvin has to deal with that shit every day.
Oh, motherfucker.
he coming early.
He coming early. That's all right. I'm gonna get him later.
I ain't even fully wake up yet. This motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, so
Take a shot off the break.
there's some things we want to talk about. And number one, I don't know if y'all been watching her channel, Nina Locks. But this motherfucker about to be a star. Touch your shoulder. Touch your shoulder while you can now. Because once she blows up, nigga, I'm playing this over and over again. That's doing great things. We're going to go into that.
Okay, let's go into it now.
No, because that's not as important as what we're going to talk about now. Which is your favorite color. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Lupus. We're going to act like we don't know what the fuck that is. Right?
Did we talk about that last week?
No, that was a different one.
That was different.
What was that last
Sickle
week?
cell anemia.
cell.
You don't
Sickle
even
cell.
give me some. You don't even fucking read. You hear? How you hear and not hear?
Y'all motherfuckers told me I couldn't read.
You right. No, give me that back.
No, fuck you
I'm
because
sorry.
you came from
Yeah, I did come to you real hard. But I love you. You know how it is.
He was saying
to go.
send him a video message because you know he can't read. Motherfucker, you think I'm gonna forget that?
I forgot I would see you the next week. I'm a little nervous now.
It's all right now. It's okay. It's all right.
So, before this dumbass interrupted you,
Sorry about that.
what is lupus?
So lupus is an autoimmune disease that affects pretty much the entire body. It can affect any organ system in the body. And it mostly affects Black women or, just women of color in general. It affects men to a smaller extent. And yeah, it can be, there's like a spectrum of how bad it can be. And on the spectrum, I'm pretty mild. Like there are some people that are constantly in the hospital, people with just rashes all over their body.
Oh my God.
People on all sorts of medications, and I'm very fortunate to not be in that position. A lot of people end up having to get organ transplants, like kidney transplants.
Organ transplants?
Yeah.
A lot of Nova's going.
Yeah, because your kidneys will go bad. What's her name? Selena Gomez had to have a kidney transplant because of that.
She had a kidney transplant. Damn.
Yeah, so it can be very serious.
So
I'm sorry.
What are you feeling? Like, what do you feel when you feel it flare? Like,
So,
the body hurts?
yeah, it's basically, it feels like the flu. Just...
Come on in, Steve.
Steve-O.
Tyreek.
Still gonna call you
Yo, he didn't switch his game up, yo.
What?
When you get in the gym every week, now you put the two-tone joggers on.
Brother, listen. He said, brother, listen.
Okay, before she loses train of thought.
Yeah, so when I have a flare, it feels like the flu. Just body aches all over. My head will hurt. Sometimes I'll feel hot. And I just feel like I can't do anything. And I think you were going to ask me, like, when I found out that I had it.
Like this,
so,
this is the type of thing that lies dormant and it's triggered?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's like that. It's triggered. You get the flares. So, I guess I'll talk about some of the symptoms first, and then I'll talk about when I found out. So the symptoms are the muscle aches and pains, sensitivity to the sun, which is really just
to the sun.
Yeah, to the sun. I'm allergic to the sun. That's another thing.
She's a fucking vampire.
That's a disrespectful disease, yo.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful. There's a butterfly rash that people get on their face. It's like a telltale sign of lupus, or just like rashes in general.
So if you go into the sun, or if you what else like
muscle aches
makes
and
it flares?
What else makes it flare?
Yeah.
For me, it's alcohol, definitely.
So you don't drink alcohol at all?
No, actually, I went to a winery yesterday and I cheated a little bit, but I paid for it last night because I was sore.
Yeah, a lot of shits. Yeah, a lot of runny shits.
Come on.
No.
What the fuck you need? Come on.
Runny shits?
I ain't saying nothing about
you asked a yesterday, 10-year-old jerked off on the other rail.
I think
he don't like to talk about runny shit.
I would rather a
you know,
10-year-old
jerking off right now
than runny shits.
All right, look, listen. I know we go on these tangents, but please help me out here. What's worse? And this is pretty bad. Me talking about your runny shits, or if your mother, or if your mother with a child at home, a boy, he's like, hey, so you know your kid's at home jerking off right now.
Not jerking off, getting jerked off.
Getting jerked off. Which one? Thank
That's
you.
not worse.
Continue. The guest is spoken. The guest is spoken.
Especially if you're
so back to your runny shits. No,
not your.
Yeah, it's back to the shits. So I went to Jamaica in 2012, and that was my first time going to the Caribbean. And I was staying on a resort for 6 days. And of course, I was at the beach. I was wearing bikinis, just hanging out, chilling, drinking, waking up at 10 o'clock, drinking alcohol, first thing in the morning. And so by like the third day of the trip, I started to notice this rash like on my stomach. And it's kind of like, I guess like prickles or something.
Really?
And yeah, and then I was thinking maybe it was a sunscreen, but it wasn't. So over the course of the trip, it started to spread. And eventually it was on my entire body, like from, I guess, like upper thighs and then all the way up to my neck and everything. So I'm in the tub. This is so stupid, but I'm in the tub with scalding hot water and a washcloth, just like soaking myself, and it wasn't helping. It was drying my skin out basically, but for a second it was giving me some relief.
Wash that shit off.
And so I went to the doctor when I got home, and they gave me steroids and all that, and that helped, but nobody could tell me what was actually going on. And so after that, I had to stop going to the beach because it wasn't.
You can't go to the beach now?
I can go to the beach, but I had to be covered.
You got like a burqa on.
Pretty much. I went to the beach actually this past April, and I took a picture, and I paid for that picture because I ended up getting a huge rash.
But did you get the likes?
I didn't get a lot of likes.
It works out. Yes. Look, a couple ER visits, it worked out.
So that's crazy. Does that hurt your dating life?
Great follow-up
no,
question.
not really.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
You can't you do want to go to the beach and you can't go.
You're like, hold up. Sheet.
Yeah, you just ghost it out.
Yeah, I wear a cover up. I've never had an issue with it.
That you know of.
That I know of. Yeah. But anyway, I feel like I'm getting long-winded. But long story short, getting the sun rashes is one of the major symptoms of lupus. And so last year was a rough year for me. And so I went to the doctor and I told her my symptoms and she ordered an anti-nuclear antibody test.
I was going to ask you how they diagnosed it.
Yeah, so that's the test that you get to see the amount of basically the ANA, basically the antibodies that are attacking your own cells. Mm-hmm. So I got the test and I tested positive for that. The test itself does not diagnose you. Like you have to look at all your symptoms. Mm-hmm. But that was positive. Like some of the areas were off the charts for me. And then with all my symptoms, they confirmed that I had lupus. So I had to get all this blood work done, all these organ tests, all of that. And so that was August of last year. But I think I've had it since I was like 10 years old. I used to get these rashes. And
you couldn't explain it. Or anything.
Yeah, nobody could ever explain anything. Yeah.
And your parents was always telling you to go outside.
Well, no, they weren't telling me. I loved being outside.
Take your Mama, goodness gracious, I ain't trying to hear that bullshit. Take your black ass outside. Right. Yeah. Do you think, so sometimes stuff happens to us in life, right? Where at the moment it's like, fuck. Mm-hmm. But then looking forward, right, it's actually a good thing for us. Mm-hmm. Do you think some of the diet changes you have to make, some of the regimen, has it worked out for you better in the long run? Yeah, I definitely think so. Not eating gluten has helped me with my weight. It's helped me with my skin. I mean, I still break out all the time, but
I still don't get this whole gluten thing. Gluten is just stretchy stuff in bread, right?
No, I don't think this.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just the stuff that makes the bread go like this.
Yeah, it's the protein in the wheat. But for some people, it causes problems. Like people with celiac disease, it can be life-threatening.
Really?
So yeah,
I've heard. Mm-hmm. I don't have that problem, obviously. Yeah. And I stopped eating gluten before I found out I had lupus. I stopped in 2014 because I used to love bread. And I ate a pretzel from Auntie Anne's one time, and then I felt like my face was just going to explode. That's how you know it's good, though.
No. I felt my face was literally.
Was it the cinnamon sugar pretzel?
No, it was the almond.
Cheese. Oh, no.
The almond pretzel. That was my favorite.
Never even heard of that.
Like the pepperoni or something.
I don't think any of us in here have even looked at the almond pretzel.
No. It's good.
I've looked at it. I didn't
say. You looked at it.
You want to be that shit on my face.
I didn't even had an almond pretzel. It's like salt with the butter. Or cinnamon sugar. Like, that's all I know.
Oh, so y'all don't fuck like the pizza joints? Or the cheese?
Well, the pizza ones.
You gotta be fresh, though.
I want to try the hot dog. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even eat hot dogs. I kind of try
raisin ones. Raisin dipped in the sugar.
Yeah. Hold on. Raisin pretzel?
Dipped in the sugar. Like for the cinnamon.
You made that up yourself?
No. They do it for you.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen it either.
Wow.
You guys making up stuff, yo. I need to look up the menu.
How both of us making up the same thing?
Because she whispered.
Y'all colluded.
Yeah, you about to make this up in 5, 4, 3, 2, raisin dips.
So hold up. Let me. Yeah. Because I wanted to ask. All right. So as far as having this, now, are there any like natural remedies that you have to do, or is it like chemical based, like through medicine that you have to deal with?
Yeah, there's the main medicine that they put you on is called Plaquenil. And I got put on that in January, and I ended up stopping because one of the side effects is losing your eyesight.
What?
Oh.
Not for everybody, but
did it happen to you?
I felt like it was getting blurry. Yeah. And I don't know if it was just a psychological thing or what, but I was like, I'm not taking this. Right. So
it's not worth it.
It's definitely not worth it.
Lose your eyesight.
Well, I know. The effects for everything. The depression medication makes you kill yourself.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
because that's crazy.
Which is retarded, but
it's like that's worse than.
It's all taking a risk, yo. There's some heart medications that'll give you cancer. Like
exactly. I mean, even when you watch those commercials and they're like, yeah, take this to get rid of your rash, and then like side effects. You lose your penis and balls at the same time.
But that is true. Dudes don't fucking. You'll take Cialis even though if it makes you go blind.
No, I won't.
But you young now. But if you're 60 years old,
bro, I can't even see my heart on. I don't want to.
You don't need to see it. You know what's going on with it. You know somebody rolling on this.
Somebody's actually good for it. If it's temporary blindness, I'll be the time. Hold on, reel it back in one time. Then you're gonna be blind, and then you think you're having sex, and it's actually a dude with a bologna sandwich wrapped around your meat, or just a dude. You fucking shoot out of the sea. You sitting there like, oh baby, that's
why is it a bologna sandwich?
Right, a bologna. Fucking know. You smoke weed. All right, so aside from the play text, other natural remedies.
Yeah, first, let me just say, I don't want to advocate for people getting off their meds. You definitely should talk to your doctor.
Sounds like that's what you're doing.
I mean, the blindness side effect.
I'm not trying to do that, but just for me personally,
yeah.
Considering that my case is relatively mild, I decided to start on a more conservative level. So I take olive leaf extract, which is supposed to help with inflammation. I also try to manage it through my diet, not eating gluten, limiting sugar, avoiding alcohol, avoiding processed meat, because that can affect your kidneys.
Everybody should do that.
Yeah, everybody should do that.
Yeah.
And then I do a lot of anti-gravity yoga, which is like
what?
You hang from the ceiling on a hammock.
You never went to a
so you've never seen it?
I got a theory about yoga, yo. You want to hear it?
Yes.
All right.
No.
The people who originated yoga, I bet they fucking hate what we doing in the West with yoga.
No, they have.
They have to, yo. I seen trap yoga. I seen some yoga where people just like speeding through everything and just like listening to like upbeat music. I'm like, there's no way those motherfuckers that came up with that shit would be happy about this.
That's true.
Right. In the pure sense of a yoga, yeah.
It's supposed to be a spiritual practice, and it's become very commercialized.
So
do you yours kind of tie in that? It's not the type of stuff you're doing isn't so much like not big room, but like just crazy techno music.
Anti-gravity yoga.
Like
yeah, I mean, but
it's just
what is that?
It's hanging. So there's a hammock hanging from the ceiling, and you can do all sorts of different moves on it. One of the big things is inverting. So that's where you're turning yourself completely upside down.
Right, I've seen that.
And
the people who started that, they're not happy with that. Yeah, I think that'd be like if you started doggy style and then you came 200 years later and people were doing like all kind of like crazy. They like messed up what you came. You had the perfect position, and everybody wants to like.
No, but it's still there.
They like hanging off the side of it.
But listen, that pure sense of yoga is still there. It's just now you got trap yoga.
Nah, yo, they're not happy.
But anti-gravity yoga.
That's like the people. It's like pizza, yo. People who originated pizza, like in fucking Tuscany or wherever they started that shit.
You don't even know.
I thought pizza was mostly American.
See? You see?
I said what? I think that is the case. I don't know if that's
You think pizza's American?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I guess the type of pizza that we eat is American.
Yes,
American. It's not.
And the people who originated pizza hate what we do.
I'm sure
they have a coalition.
Like
they have a coalition of pizza.
Like compared to some real authentic beef patties.
Golden Crust is alright.
It's not bad, but I feel like
pizza
McDonald's like no.
If you in Jamaica eating,
they're like, what the fuck is this?
It's not the same. There's no Golden Crust.
You see?
Exactly. No, okay. Back to that beautiful thing you do called upside down anti.
Called not yoga.
It is yoga.
She want to fuck you up, bro.
Circulation helps get your lymphatic system moving. My mom teaches it. She actually lost 70 pounds doing it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really,
wow.
It's very life changing. So what I like to do to help with my lupus is all the hip stretches, because I do get really stiff from the lupus. So it's been helpful for me.
That's good.
That's
good. So
we talk about the locks. They're right there. We can look at them and talk about them.
They look nice.
So what's up with this dreadlock shit? This is a new fad. The new fad all the kids are doing. They're called dreadlocks. Oh, talk about it. Dreadlocks.
So I guess
all in front of me like this. I'm fuck that nigga in the side.
Crazy.
So what's up with this dreadlocks? I remember you. All right. So listen, I've known you for a few years, right, in social media. And I remember you. Actually, I think you've done this channel within the last couple of years, maybe last year.
No, I started in January.
Wow. Okay, her channel went from, like any other channel you first saw, moderate views. And then you go back one day and you like 2,000 fucking views. 3,000 followers. I don't know the actual numbers. It might be much higher.
35.
Correct me, motherfucker. Listen, so where did this come from? I mean, obviously you're passionate about it. It's a part of your, your look, but what happened? It just blew up.
So I started my channel because I wanted to speak to younger girls, like teenagers. And that's why it's called The Girl Book. And it was going okay. Like you said, moderate views.
But expected. I mean, you just started the channel.
Yeah, I just started.
People just jumped to 20,000 views. It was a nice growth, though.
And I was talking about things that... Oh, go ahead.
No. I was saying no kidding. Like 20,000 views and stuff like that. I wouldn't check that out.
Yeah. I was talking about things that I really wanted to talk about. But the thing with YouTube is that people are going on there for information. They're going on there to learn how to do things specifically. Yeah. I mean, they go for entertainment as well, but they want to learn stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I did a little bit of research and I thought about it and I was like, well, what do I have that I could teach somebody about? What do I have that people are interested in? A lot of people, when I'm out in public, people ask me about my locks.
You do?
And they do all the time. Yeah, thank you. I mean, they're not looking the best right now, but people ask me. Well, no. Okay, anyway. Thank you.
No, stop right there. No, stay right there. Why the fuck do y'all do that? Because y'all know y'all be beat. That's why you laugh in the corner. You know, say that shit. I'm like,
they do that.
That shit looks perfect.
All right. Okay.
Because they like compliments and they like, give me one.
Your nails look nice. They be like, yeah, thank you, but I need to get them redone.
But no. That's true. We do that sometimes. So I'm gonna just say thank you for the compliments. That's it. So people would ask me, and so I said, okay, let me just do a lock video and just see what kind of response I get, because there are people looking this stuff up. When I started in 2014. I was on YouTube looking up stuff. Mm-hmm. So I posted the first video about locks in August, and this is after having my channel open since January. And then I started seeing a lot more views come in, a lot more comments come in. The follower count started adding up. And it was September 1st. I went to a friend's housewarming, and she was asking me about my channel.
Go ahead. No, I'm following. You all right? Somebody asked for an order. You got to share like 10. We're going to get that.
No fanning out over there.
And then someone said, you need a locks? I'm like, yo. Girl. You know he does that when he be like, I get excited. Right. There we go.
So I had taken a little hiatus from my channel from like March to August.
Yeah.
And so September 1st, I went to the housewarming. She asked me how many followers I had, and I was like, I have 88. And, you know, I was kind of embarrassed about it.
Pushing it down, right?
Yeah, pushing it down. And then after that, it just started to take off once I did more vlog videos. And then I ended up doing a video about my first year of the journey, and that just basically went viral in a sense, because now it has like 80-something thousand views, and I started it from nowhere, and it blows my mind every day. I'm really thankful for it.
All right, 2 questions. Who's your biggest fan on there? Like the biggest fan thing someone said, and the craziest troll. You know somebody has to troll you, right? Yeah. Somebody has to. You read through the comments, and somebody says like some crazy ass shit to you. Yeah. What is that?
There's one name that comes to mind. It's Win Singerful. She always has really nice things to say about my locks. I appreciate that. Nobody has ever really just
somebody trolls you. If you haven't been trolled,
I have been. People have accused me. Folks have accused me of clickbait in my 1-year lock journey video.
Yeah.
Because there's a picture of me at the beginning, and then there's a picture of me now, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's not 4 years of growth. You know, clearly this is clickbait." And my sister actually got on there, and she was arguing with somebody, and I'm like, "Don't engage with people. People are gonna say what they want to say."
So why are you clickbaiting?
Yeah. Well, okay. I honestly, everything. I was really not trying to clickbait. I wanted it to be eye-catching, and so it was like.
We're still listening. Go ahead.
No, don't help him, because he's supposed to be on a mission. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You forgot about that talk you had, right?
Just get one.
Let him get the small one on top.
All right.
You
can get the candy
cane. The concept that I had was, here I am now, but let me take you back to the beginning. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, here's the beginning, and then here's where I ended up a year from now. But some people misconstrued the image. Yeah. But the way I look at it, the majority of people liked it. Yeah. Like it got 1,500 likes and then 50 dislikes. So if you think about that many people in a room, like there's
your goal is to make people
I want
watch
people
your
to
video,
watch.
right? So if that makes 100, 300, 500 more people look at it, it's worth it. It's not like you OD'd it and it's real pictures.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be dishonest. And in the very beginning of the video, I say, this is my hair at 4.5 years. Not my hair grew this long in a year.
Mm-hmm. So that's crazy. I'm surprised that you don't have like ridiculous Now I gotta look. I'm going through the video.
I really don't have anything crazy.
Okay.
And I honestly, I thought that I maybe would because I used to be really self-conscious about my hair. Because my hair gets like really dry, my edges be dry, and I was just waiting on somebody to just say something, but nobody has. Yeah, well, so
you don't come
so
out.
So how do we do? Not say for years. How would we do clickbait?
We got to use your fucking body, baby, mama, wifey.
Have somebody's behind.
Let us use his ass.
Using his body.
No, we can get in the post. We can just look got a shirt up. Oh, they're gonna touch it and then they go right to our shirt.
No, we could do the Drake where it look like cheeks and then have Nick look like he get ready to ass.
That you?
You
gotta get the ass shirt
right here.
You got your shirt off too.
The little titty and shit right there. Have Nick look like
yeah, you can.
I look better with my shirt on right now.
I
look better with my shirt on right
now. No, yo, you.
No want to see my shirt off?
And
like, you said you want to see my shirt off.
Santa Claus
always do some weird
Santa Claus
shit
boxers,
like every other episode.
You want to see me in Santa Claus boxers?
We about to find out. We about to find out the truth. If Nick goes on the page, front page on our picture, no clothes on, just Santa Claus boxers and like oil. Just oil.
No, he the gayest. Let's show you the gayest. Because before he started on me, he had a crush on your ass.
I said nothing.
He was like, Marvin, we gonna get you that old folks home and oil your body. I'm like, oh yeah, and
well, you know, I'm gonna tell you why I had to stop saying nice things about Marvin ever since the Jabba the Hutt thing. So after the Jabba the Hutt thing, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna say a few nice things.
Right, give us some
say some nice things to Nick.
The Jabba the Hutt.
We always gonna go to Comic-Con, but we weren't gonna do anything. But we just want to know where all of the freaks at. Are they at Comic-Con or are they like a bodybuilding competition, right? So we talk, all right, fine, we'll go to Comic-Con because it's gonna be way more freaks at Comic-Con than a bodybuilding competition, which I won that debate, by the way. He was gonna just go with no shirt on and be like Thor or some shit like that.
No, this and is what you were recommending this. He said, yo, Marvin, you gonna be no shirt, Thor. Nick, you gonna be Jabba the Hutt.
I was gonna be Kirby. I was gonna be Kirby though.
Who?
No, you didn't say Kirby. I don't remember that video.
Is that from
the little
Mario?
pink dude? Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little pink dude. It's really a dude.
See, Jabba the Hutt ugly and fat.
Bro. Okay, all right. Back to the topic. Can he clickbait with no clothes, just Santa Claus boxes and oil?
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't. No.
You can do that.
Well, thank you. But Marvin could. No. We all see this nigga page. You could. How many abs he got right now? I bet you counted. How many abs
he got? 8 of them, yo.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Yo,
you wanna know how I know?
Shut up.
How you know? On Thanksgiving, when I was fucking up y'all pictures, I was going to fuck up the picture of him with abs.
Count his abs.
I wasn't counting them, but I'm like, all right, this motherfucker got hella abs, yo. This shit's not cool. So I was going to put like some, like how I made you can look at me like that, cool. But like how I made Steve kind of cool, and I fucked yours up. I was going to really fuck his shit up, but I was like, nah, I ain't going to. I'm going to let him live until Christmas.
How could you fuck his shit up, though? You got to like crop his whole body out.
I could put like naked dudes dancing on his picture.
You could have fucked his shit up.
Yeah.
No, don't tempt him. Because you know for doing that shit too.
Y'all should do that, but then when people actually click and then they see what it's about, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I thought I was just gonna see that the whole video."
Right.
Chippendales.
Yeah.
We should probably one day when I finally get in good shape, because y'all in decent shape, do like a naked episode. Not naked, but like on the beach.
Yo. Now, I'm gay.
No, not naked. I ain't mean naked. That came out wrong.
That came out
on the beach.
wrong.
We like Gold's Gym, California, and we all got like shirts off.
No.
You don't think that'd be clickbait?
I never take my shirts off. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Y'all can go naked, and I'll be in here with like regular clothes on.
Not in here, no, it's 2 enclosed. We can't be 3 and a half.
Y'all should all wear swimsuits.
We should
like
not do this. None of this like sounds good to me.
You wouldn't want to do a show on the beach and like
I put like this.
After a good session.
If we do an episode from a pool, I would still put clothes on. Y'all could walk around in speedos.
That's gay. Gay is not gay.
Because I don't like to like do that. You know what I'm saying?
You don't like to do that?
No.
So you don't like to go to Las Vegas, get in the pool, and then take your pictures with the shirt off?
I don't show off like that.
They're all on your page. They're all on your page.
Oh, if I'm not,
you do shit like this. When you got the pool, you like this.
This motherfucker was damn near like one of the in the
thong on and shit.
All right, so what was he talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How gay this is. Anyway, YouTube.
Yeah,
Lots.
funny.
You have no haters.
No, I have haters. There are people that dislike my videos all the time.
And they verbally express it?
No, they
don't.
No,
they click the dislike button.
Them niggas is hating, man. They probably love me.
They probably be like,
that's good though. You really need that.
Trump supporter by on
it probably is. I don't know. But there's a couple things I'll say for people that want to start a channel. Being consistent is definitely important. And another big thing is don't ask people to follow. Like, don't do follow for follow type things, sub for sub. It really doesn't work because you end up with people that are just there for a number, but they're not engaged. They don't care about your content. Yeah. And
we want negative engagement though. You know what I mean?
We want.
I feel like that's good. I like negative.
No, because because the thing about it is because we have a lot of sensitive topics and stuff like that we don't care. We don't mind to discuss, and especially because we give our ultimate an open opinion about it. So I'm up for the fucking controversy. Bring it on. Just bring it on.
What's up?
What about for people that are starting a dreadlock journey? If you can give them like 2 of the top 5.
Don't get too skinny.
Okay.
They fall out your head.
Oh,
right?
Am I wrong? Start wearing thin.
Yeah.
The other two
at that point, then they're not really like locks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't make them too skinny because people get them too skinny, and next thing you know, they should starting here.
Yeah. But the main thing is just patience because it does take time. It took 6 months for my hair to really lock, and then after that, I guess after 2 years or so, I was really comfortable with it. So it's definitely about being patient. Also, you can't put too much stuff in your hair.
Right.
Like if you don't want buildup. There are people that use beeswax. That's when you just have a whole bunch of gunk in your locks.
Yeah, that should be looking like
people use beeswax and it just attracts lint and things. And you can't be a product junkie when you have locks. So you have to keep it simple.
Hold on, let me ask the biggest question. I don't know if we actually said it, but what made you want to start your locks in the first place?
I always switched my hairstyles up, and I just my sisters do hair, and I got tired of having to wait for them to do my hair. So I said, let me just try something different. Actually, I was dating a guy who's from here, and I'm not from here. I'm from Mississippi.
We make them do
down in Mississippi.
Hey, fellas, we make them do what we want.
Oh my gosh!
Lock that hair up.
I was dating.
Right, fellas. Right?
I can't wait.
Right? Okay, I'm sorry. Shit. The slow clap. The slow. We got to post that. Got to.
Okay. So yeah, I was dating a guy who's from Maryland, and he was like, "You would look really nice with locks." And I'm just like, I could never see myself with locks, and that was 2012. And then in 2014, I was like, well, maybe I should just try them.
Were you still with the guy?
No.
Has he seen you now?
He probably think that. He probably look up pictures.
Is he a little thirsty?
He's really
He's
bad.
not thirsty.
No? Does he still have the permit?
No.
You trying to get
No.
Oh, trying to get it.
Look, I saw that he got
no.
I don't think that wasn't for real, no.
No, it wasn't.
You know, sometimes.
Are dreadlocks for everybody? You hear the controversy?
No, they're not.
They're not for me.
Jamaican, calm down.
No, they're not.
He's like, hell no, they're not.
In just a second. No, but not even like she said. Listen, bro, I wanted dreads so badly in college, and
you would look cool with dreads.
Yeah, I would, but I'm going bald up here.
Well, no.
I'm not trying to.
Not so much like genetics. I mean, like culture. Like, can an Asian person do it?
Oh,
yeah.
Do you think it's socially acceptable now versus years ago?
They try it, they just don't look good.
I guess it is, but I honestly feel like they look better on black hair.
Or that type of hair.
Type 4 hair, where it's just more kinky.
Yeah.
Actually,
so you're dreadlock racist, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not.
You're dread racist.
I dated a guy
earlier
this year. I know he's not watching, so we actually dated a white guy this year for the first time. And he did, and they were actually really nice.
Did they smell good?
They did.
Yeah,
they were really clean and neat and all that, but it was still just kind of weird to me. I still was like, you would look better if you just cut your hair. I mean, and he also drove a Magnum.
What's a Magnum?
You know the Dodge Magnum, that old
That's like the Crown Vic with rims. I'm about to snatch the car with the Magnum. Give me that shit.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. I just
Hold up. So what about the Magnum though?
She don't like Magnum.
You can't have.
Actually, I'm not gonna go there. I take that back. I was gonna say something. I'm not.
Too late. It's already out there.
Yeah, you kind of already.
Yeah,
you already started.
It's a nigga.
Yes, exactly. It's a
That's
car
a
that
nigga.
a lot of black men drive.
Fuck no, isn't it? Maybe in Baltimore, but they still sell Magnum in Iowa.
It's a nigga.
In Iowa. Only the niggas in Iowa get it. That's what they say. Fucking Alfred.
So I guess what I'm saying is, I didn't know if he was really being himself.
Yeah.
Like, if you white, just be white. You know, don't try to.
I think we all do that though. We all together here, and so like white people will be getting dreadlocks, and then black and wearing Timberlands, and then black people be fucking. I mean, having straight hair. And
see, they love Justin Timberlake. They love John B. That's a throwback right there. Because he has some Afrocentric tendencies, you know. He had his little shape up with the part.
I'm pretty sure everybody in this room thought that Justin Timberlake was going to end up marrying a black girl when we first, found out he was with Timberland and all them kind of people.
I didn't think so.
No,
I didn't think so.
you didn't think so?
He had too many years on Disney Channel.
He ain't that ingrained in the culture.
He's not.
Yeah.
Now he do like a big booty white girl.
Yes, he does.
What's the white girl, the big booty one? Who's
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, but it's another one too. What's the other one? Scarlett Johansson.
He was with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Scarlett.
Damn, you moving too much.
I'm talking, and I'm on camera. And I'm on camera. Yeah. I'm in trouble.
No, you see that? He is like.
All right, so where we at on time? We on time for questions, huh?
Girl, yeah. This is a segue.
Okay.
Girls don't like to usually get their hair wet when it's raining, and it's like.
Don't you steal my cup question? Think about it before you do it.
And they don't like to get jizz in their hair.
Okay.
Is that your cup question?
No, that's a pretty good one. Go ahead.
Does dreadlocks change that? Is it cool? Is it not cool?
It's probably good for your roots.
I still don't like it because I have to retwist my roots every few weeks, and get my hair wet just reverses all that. So.
What about jizz though? Did you miss the jizz part?
Thank you.
Listen. All right, so listen. She's gonna tap out this one, but listen. Real talk.
Tapping out?
I think she's tapping out. I think
you can't tell her to tap out.
Tapping out. All right, listen.
No, she's not tapping out.
Let's break it down like proteins and fucking cells and shit, right? I think
it's good for you. It's like
it might be good for the roots.
Yeah.
Doesn't really smell.
You might need to just
a little jizz might make it.
It might put a little strong hold to it.
You might be fucking up. That might be your $1 billion idea.
My mom's watching this. I'm a virgin.
Me too, mama. Listen, yo, real talk. If you talking about clickbait,
jizz in the hair.
not so much you advocating it, but saying like the photo. That's the photo, right? That's like
What's in your hand? What's in your hand when you're doing that? Because it seems like you got something in your hand right there.
Oh my god.
Oh no,
you can't do it, dildo.
No, maybe it's just a bottom half of a man.
Or maybe you could just like tap on your head with like a vibrator or something like that or something.
So what's the difference between a dildo and a vibrator?
Well, vibrators are actually more discreet because they're just little slim joints.
Yeah,
but it doesn't jizz.
They can put them in
lipstick containers and shit.
But the thing is, that would not fly because YouTube is fairly conservative.
Oh yeah, they're gonna cut you.
And I wouldn't be able to get paid for that.
Oh damn!
You can get paid off the video for talking about it, but not for showing that on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't even say jizz in the title. Like,
yeah, you can definitely say jizz in the title.
YouTube tries to be family friendly, so
fuck you.
They
Well,
We're gonna say it's not super.
You had to find a different word.
Pornhub. You're not doing porn. Listen, it's not porn.
No,
outside of the listen, we should go for Pornhub for our podcast.
We should.
Why not? Oh my God, I'm so smart.
We can't have guests that say they virgins.
Yeah, but that's dope. Pornhub does not have a podcast.
Let's do it. We're Pornhub's premier podcast.
Okay. And then we have like porn stars on there, and then you'll blow up. You'll get to the point when you're so big you won't give a fuck about YouTube. Come on in, we talk about jizz and the dreadlocks. Okay, questions.
Nobody's going to Pornhub for tutorials.
Yes, they are.
I mean, not
Steve, ma'am. I'm not
Okay, well.
And then you will have some girls
one of the best places
that have locks and try to figure out how that's going to work when they jump into the game. You know what I mean? They can be like, well, if he does shoot it in my hair, will I just be able to retwist my dreads with it? I mean, I still think
you won't need beeswax
because it's a natural protein from a man's body.
It's just beautiful. I really think
man's body.
I'm just saying.
Here y'all are dying.
Now we get almost.
Y'all are dying, man.
All right, let's question time.
Yeah, let's hit the
question time. Song, yo. Hold up. Huh? What? We need a question time song.
No, we don't.
Nah, we're not gonna sing it. We need to get one of those things where you can hit a button and then.
Yeah.
Something.
We'll get that. Don't worry about that this week.
Yeah. Before we go into the questions, let's Give them your handles out there because there was somebody on our live feed that said they wanted to know your YouTube channel and IG and stuff like that. So,
yes.
Big shout out to that.
Thank
you. You had to help us out with our YouTube channel and stuff too, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
my YouTube channel is The Girl Book, one word, by Nina.
Spell out Nina just in case there.
Nina, Nina, like Nina Simone. And my Lock Instagram page is Nina Locks, so NINALOCS. I also have my personal page, which is Curated, CURATED, by Nina, where I just post like just museums and things I like, concerts, artwork, all that. And yeah, that's it.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right. Going to the sponsors real quick.
Ooh.
Sponsor.
Sponsor. Ooh.
Sponsor.
Oh, the shoe.
Look, if y'all been watching the show, y'all already know what time it is. If you haven't been watching the show, thank you for tuning in. But make sure y'all check out our sponsor, withlove.bea. Hand wax. I mean, hand
100%
soy wax.
Hand wax.
Listen, I got it. We're going to set this up.
It's
Check this
straight
out.
wax.
When you fucking, do you like to also smell like you not fucking?
That's how you set it up?
This the candle. Yeah, you don't want to smell like you in the middle of some fucking, right? You don't want to.
I like that smell.
You like that? No,
Yeah.
just on a little bit. You don't want it. So if you want just a little bit of that, but not too much of that.
But then with that sexy aroma,
Throw some blush in there. It covers a hint of
Blush.
ass.
Yeah, this was blush.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Take that shower, shave the butt cheeks,
All that.
like that lush up.
Oh,
Smoke.
Oh, don't do that. You're dirty.
Where you gonna hide my body?
Damn, that's fucked up, fam.
That's so
She
fucked
might
That's
do-
messed up.
You gotta take a step out. Are you alright?
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm
You want me
That
to
would mess you up, would it? That would mess you
No.
up, would it? Alright.
No, I do smell.
Smells, you know, that smells good.
It does smell good.
All right, cool. We're going to CPR because if this motherfucker starts shaking, I don't know what to do.
I'm good.
He-
Mix it up for me.
All right, here we
Listen,
go.
I'm more likely to have an episode than she is, so don't worry about that.
You allergic to smoke too?
No, I'm allergic to peanuts. So it's more likely that I would have something.
You got some of these peanut cookies.
The peanuts?
There's no peanut cookies in there. Those are all sugar cookies.
Oh yeah, because as soon as he would, you just see him start twitching and shit. All right,
Cookie.
first question.
Ooh, this could be good.
Bang. Have you earned your Red Wings?
Oh my god.
Had sex? You knew the fuck was.
Who question is that?
Had sex?
Oh, you might want to give a disclaimer. Whoever's watching, I love you.
Oh,
Oh, it's this time. Should I pause?
No,
No,
you
no,
can't.
no,
no.
No, this is the camera we want.
So first of all, what is Red Wings? I don't know what Red Wings
were you
are.
not listening, brother?
What are
Yeah,
Red
yeah.
Wings, everybody?
You know what red wings are.
No, I don't.
You know what bread wings are?
Bread Wings?
Yeah.
I don't know what red wings
Yeah,
are.
Is that yeast infection?
Yeah.
Oh! Oh my God!
Ew.
It's a high taste.
I don't have a clue, bro.
It's like wheat bread.
I earned my red wings.
Don't lie.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. Yes, I have. And I stopped doing it because I feel like it's coming out, so it's not supposed to be pushed back in there. I just think that can lead to issues.
Bread wings.
Extra, or it's extra lube. What do you think about it? Wife's right there looking at you. This gotta be awkward. Gotta be awkward.
No, I mean,
He loves the
it's
Red
right.
Wings. What are you talking
He
about?
loves it.
You are.
Don't,
Get the
but
fuck
it's-
out of here. How's this the first thing
I
you
know
not
you
with the
love
shits
it.
on?
It's really.
And with the shits though. Hey,
How you
No,
with the
I've
shits
had-
about everything?
Huh?
You with the shits about literally everything.
Yeah, I know, but blood is just messy. It gets messy. You understand? That's a lot of cleanup. I mean, it's bad enough that if you got jizz everywhere, you know what I mean? But you got jizz and you got blood that you got to clean up. Like, you got to make sure that you take all the necessary precautions. I mean, if you do it as soon as they get out the shower, then you got a couple minutes before it comes. So,
Do you?
yeah, you got
So you have
right?
done it, but you just don't prefer to mess with it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, makes sense.
Or just do
it's
it-
not. It's not that I
Or
don't.
in the shower.
Yeah, or definitely, of course, in the shower. I don't really like doing showers though, to be honest with you, because I like to take my time. Like I don't. After a while,
You don't want
before
your
I start,
fingers to
I
be
just like, I
moving.
start itching this shit in my line. I don't.
I like
I don't.
this one.
I don't really like to do shower because I got to do everything quick. Like it's like, all right.
You don't want your fingers to
Don't
be
be-
wrinkly, but before
No,
you
yo,
finish.
Yo, this shit is so funny when his wife was right
I
there.
know, it's
He's like, you know,
like,
tear that pussy up, tear that pussy up. She's like, oh my God.
But I'm just saying, and then after once you're in the shower so long, your skin start itching from drying out and stuff like that. I don't like that.
I think the shower's overrated, honestly.
Whoa! See, it is. Busting your ass and all of that.
You ain't got but 2
minutes. Showers are overrated.
No, shower. I mean, doing the shower.
Oh, I thought you said showers and showers.
Listen, Brad. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Because I don't like showers.
I was like, I do red wings, but bread wings.
First of all,
bread wings.
Getting head in the shower, either way, is probably the best thing to do. Everything else is good. What?
Nah,
it's really good for the recipient.
First of all,
no, because all right.
It's not good for anybody.
So you mean to tell me when you eating pussy in the shower, you don't feel like you drowning sometimes?
Yes, I do.
Listen, you got to change the angle of water. See, your ass right. No, she's getting most of it in her chest and it's drilling out her body. And maybe you got enough biceps. Maybe you got one leg up and you just, or you just like that. But the way you doing it, the water go right in your goddamn face, and she probably like this. Let's skip her whole back. Your whole back going right in your face.
So which way do you face?
Like this. The water, like here. Listen.
Y'all missed what he just did. The second thing he did, the first thing was and then he did this. So that's like splitting the cheeks. That's what you was doing.
I eat ass, sir. Oh, real quick. Switch here. What if, ladies, I want you guys to touch him. What if our dick bled?
They would not do that.
Hey, come on. Listen, by accident, we've been out there licking. Tastes like nickel, right? What if
it tastes like nickel? Don't you have those conversations before? Like,
yeah, but sometimes they just don't know. The woman's body's kind of tricky. Sometimes they can just come and start stopping. Bro, and it's too late. You like,
if they don't tell you, then that's not cool.
I've thought about that. Y'all want to know something else I thought about? It's really nasty. I feel really bad. Y'all might look at me like it was crazy, but
this is a no judgment zone. I can honestly say.
Promise no judgment. Okay. One day I was walking in DC and I saw a woman breastfeeding her baby, and I wondered, what if men had to what if men had to feed babies from their penis?
What?
Whoa.
That's what
that is great question.
That's
what type of question.
But see,
I felt really bad.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a penis though. It would be from our breast.
So no, like what if it was from the penis and it was milk and it wasn't anything sexual?
That'd be a whole
or the woman's vagina. What if she had to feed her baby? This is getting crazy.
Well, koalas have to. The baby koalas have to eat the mom's poop because they don't have the enzymes to digest.
Elephants do it too. I think elephants do it too.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of like weird.
Well, usually you just get the water from
elephants go their fucking nose inside the ass.
That is true.
It sounds crazy. Yeah, elephants do that. They go inside the asshole.
Like you'll see them stick their trunk in another elephant's ass and then pull out.
Where are we going?
Oh, real quick. No. Ladies,
where are you going with this?
Ladies.
You're right.
Would you have sex with a dude on this period? Because we've done it right for the females. If they having a dick period, would you do it? How many days into the dick period?
It would have to be like 30 days.
It's got to wait for the heavy part to go past. First.
Yeah, it's either the
it comes out clunky at first, like Rocky Road ice cream. And then it becomes more of a STD-ish.
I don't think we could put up with that.
Yeah. This is
we could.
I don't think we could though.
You say you could do it, but it'd be like early.
Yeah, early.
We'd have testosterone.
You guys are all nasty to me.
Hey. What's the next question?
I have one.
Next question. All right, cool.
That was good. Y'all damn. I like that moment. Third day, you know. Third day.
She's matching Marvin with the shits.
How would we plug up our penis hole?
With a diaper.
No, that's too much, bro.
You had to put
like a helmet, like a little helmet.
If it was comparable to a tampon, then it had to be like a Q-tip or some shit.
I ain't sticking no
Stop.
Q-tip in my dick, boy.
You just have a little rubber.
Have you ever been tested?
Yeah, it'd be like you just tape.
It hurt.
Yeah,
Shit.
All right, next question. Current events: Lion King movie.
Oh, good.
6ix9ine going to jail.
Damn.
And Diplomat's new album. So let's first start with the Lion King movie. These shit.
We all gotta see it. I'm going to see it.
They already dragged me in when they had James Earl Jones playing, as the original character again. So
really?
that already, he's
still alive.
He's still alive?
Yes. I know he's still alive. What the fuck is wrong? Not even no jokes. Did y'all all know, Steve? No, you always on that shit, so you out of this. You knew too.
Do you know who's playing now?
Beyonce.
Oh God.
Really?
You're supposed to be quiet.
Beyonce?
I see the meme. I see the meme that she better know that Nala not from Houston. They don't want to hear it.
All right. Beyonce's not the best actress. She's not.
No, but it's an anime.
It's like a.
So she's gonna have plenty of takes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah,
huh? Somebody said you're gonna have to see Mufasa die, but in HD now.
Yeah.
You see the memes like we gotta watch it over again.
Scar was the right one in the first movie. No one thinks about that, but Scar was the one who was right, and Mufasa was fucked up.
About what?
Mufasa was a dictator.
How?
Because he said it's the circle of life. You know what I'm saying? We're born to be kings. You're gonna be my predecessor to the throne, and you get to rule over all of these other animals in Serengeti. Blah blah blah. They do what you say. You the king, right? Where Scar was hanging out with the hyenas, with the lowly people, with the peasants, trying to like tell them we can be somebody too. But Mufasa and Simba stopped the shit. Back to dictatorship.
Interesting perspective. Never thought of it that way.
No, watch it again, yo. We're gonna watch it together.
No.
Watch it while high.
Yeah.
No.
Scar ain't right.
No, Scar was right. Now he was.
How do you justify from being able to use that as a political standpoint to say, oh, I can kill this motherfucker because he's a dictator anyway? I guess we did it.
First of all, we killed how many dictators have we killed?
Yeah, that's why I was like, let me shut up. Never mind, my bad. You got a point.
Yeah, Scar was Barack Obama.
Really? Thought of it that way.
No.
Yeah, he was.
We can't do it.
We got
no, we can't.
Who was the guy we got? Yo. Bin Laden.
We can't.
Got Bin Laden.
Mufasa
was Bin Laden, yo.
Bin Laden wasn't a dictator though.
But he's like,
let's go to the next bullet.
Maybe he wasn't a dictator, but he was trying to rule over the people. Hey, say that. Watch the movie again.
I do watch the movie. I like where he's going with this.
I understand where he's going with it, but I don't like it. So fuck that.
In all of our movies, really, if you really pay attention and you stop thinking like as a kid, we had to go whoever the protagonist is supposed to be, right? Mm-hmm. But if you really watch all of them, the villains all make sense.
They do.
They have a good point.
The villains are always more interesting.
Yeah.
They're more complex.
Bane.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos.
But see, you're conflating the cartoons and the movies we watch now are supposed to be more nuanced. Cartoons didn't leave much to nuance. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't like a deeper thing to Scar other than
that's not true.
He wanted hyenas.
This motherfucker.
That's not true.
The hyenas were the only people who were going to stand up to the hyenas.
The hyenas were the peasants, yo. You see, they had to go off. They couldn't hang out with all the other animals. They went off to like some kind of like. No, not really. I'm telling you.
How many people you think really looked at it like that?
A lot of the movies that we used to think, not so deeply about, if you watch them now, the way that your mind works now, you'll start to see different things.
Oh, that's like The Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
I used to love that movie growing up, and then the older I got, I realized she had to change herself completely. To be this man.
Yeah.
And, why is that a good thing?
Like
why should girls aspire?
It's not right. Exactly. It's like that.
She gave up her voice. She gave up her gift for love.
That's crazy.
For love. That's terrible. That's telling women. That's training women to think.
The Prince?
Did he give up like his royalty or something? Like
no, he didn't give up anything.
Yeah, they gave up nothing. She gave up everything.
She did.
That's all of those movies made women. Like, you can't think of how we think of women today and then watch a movie from like 1950s.
Right. If a girl
it's just not going to be.
She's moving to another state for a dude, somebody's going to slap her from her family.
Takashi in jail? Can you be our
in jail?
New York?
Listen, brother, there's nothing. First off, I told you, I didn't tell you he's in general pop. Well, he's not in general pop.
He is in general pop.
Not anymore.
He got moved to a federal facility, which means my man is singing. So,
you think he's singing?
Should he sing?
Should he sing, bro? Fuck no, he shouldn't sing.
I don't think he was ever part of that life. I think he used it as
a song if he sings,
and it fired back,
and they find him.
Well, they gonna find that motherfucker either way. What, he gonna go keep it real? His real ain't real.
He could keep it real, and he can keep it real and do 10 in jail, 15.
Bro, you don't just do 10 in jail. You just do like it's 10 minutes. Like, oh, you just do like 10, 15 minutes in jail. I'll be.
If you in that life, you do a bid.
Fam,
you have to know.
The reason why I don't get the shit like that because I know I'm not built for that life. I'm not out here trying to kill anybody because of the wrong.
But if you snitch on Steve and Steve got goons everywhere,
then yeah,
now you dead.
Or
you gotta be in jail or dead.
Listen, yes, right, but supposedly they were already going to come and get him anyway.
Yeah.
So now I'm right next door to Steve. So I'm fucked either way. It's just how I want to be fucked. And I'd rather be fucked with a kiss on the neck. What are we looking at?
Skullheads.
Oh, you want pop?
Scum gang? Oh.
Skull gang.
You want sip?
Let me ask y'all a question about him. How do y'all feel about him saying the N-word?
I don't mind him saying the N-word.
I don't mind.
First of all, he's Mexican and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Spanish people always had a pass for me.
And second of all, what we gonna do? Let him rap? You know what I mean? Be a blood, but can't say nigga?
Do you want the politically correct answer? Like 3 African American males who are... Or do you want like the real... The real shit is that, first of all, the word is terrible, right? But it's gotten to the point where it's in terms of endearment. And if you poll, you pretty much are okay to do it, except for poor whites. Poor whites, we still kind of look at them like, my nigga, you in the hood with us, but if you Spanish or like even like Filipino or something like that,
yeah,
you get a pass. As long as you poor.
I think as long as you're a part of the...
You can't be like some rich Beverly Hills kid.
That's how I look.
What's up, my niggas? I'm like, bro, you gotta have some struggle in your voice.
See, back home,
can white people say ninjas?
See, back home is because
they can say ninjas.
Back home is because Hispanics
just don't say the word.
You know, Dominicans and Puerto Ricans.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? So we already act like they already go to the same schools. And most Hispanics act like they black. They just speak a different language, and they have...
It's not they act like they black. We all grew up together, yo.
Yeah.
There is no acting. I mean, we have to get out of this acting black shit, yo.
Yeah, because
we have to get out of it, yo.
People are going to be a product of their environment, so if that's what they were born and raised around, then you can't expect them not to be.
They sit within their circles too.
And we can't have that both ways. Acting black can't be acting hood as fuck when we want it to be acting hood as fuck, and then when we don't want it to be hood as fuck, we can't. We don't want white people to be like, oh, well, they were acting black or acting hood. You know what I mean? It's we gotta take it away from that. I think because acting black can't be not learning in school and like gangbanging. Like I don't want that to be what it is.
Right. You just want that to be a natural. Like that's just the natural order of that actual thing.
I like that people do all these things. You know what I mean? I watch Narcos and watch gangster movies and shit, and I love that shit. So I'm not saying that's bad, but it can't just be like that's a black thing.
Right, and that's what you don't want either. That stereotype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand where y'all are coming from. I don't know. I feel differently about it because I don't like it because everybody's a nigga until you actually got to be a nigga. And then it's different. You can take off all that stuff. You can stop rapping and decide, I feel like it is true.
Not for Daniel Hernandez. That
maybe
nigga
not for him.
Was always a nigga.
But
he's poorer than all of us. You've never seen a day like his worst days. You've never seen it. That's
true. I'm not trying to take anything away from his experience, but I feel like it's black people specifically that have been, I guess, have over time felt the effects of actually being called that word. Yeah. We're the only people that have been hung. Our ancestors were hung and called this word. Yeah, nobody else can say that.
That's not
Hispanics can't say that in this country.
True. That's not completely true either.
No,
how is it not?
With that word,
that's not completely true.
Not the equivalent of that.
This is why that's not true. This is why that's not true. All right, the United States is not the only place where Africans got taken from their home and sent to all the way. Like, no, not true. In the West Indies,
historically, it's the greatest purveyor.
Yo, there are black people in
the 1600s.
No. They are all through South America. It's African descent people all through the West.
But not to that level.
Yes, to that level. Have you been to Brazil? Have you seen Brazil? You got two different types of Brazilians.
It's racism here that informed the views of racism around the world.
No, that's not true at all.
Yes, it is because what's his face? Hitler. He looked to U.S. racism as a template for what he did in Germany, bro. So like, I
can't say that. I can't say whether I know that to be true or not. But what I do know is that if you look at Brazilians, there's white Brazilians.
Yes.
There's black Brazilians.
Yes.
We cannot tell black Brazilians you can't use the word nigger. That don't make any sense.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's not what you said.
But
I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
Okay. There's a specific American experience though, where black people in America were hung. And then we had Jim Crow, and we had all of that, and slavery, everything. Yeah, that's a very specific experience that has informed our entire lives in this country.
I don't believe it. I'm going to tell you why.
How can we take away the power from this word?
This is why. Forget that. Forget taking away the power from that word. That's just not true. Throughout history, of beginning of time, All we ever did as people is fuck up other people that didn't look like us and weren't in our traps.
Yes.
Completely. From day one. There are extinct groups of people that there's like more than one Homo sapiens.
So the battle of the uses of the word really doesn't mean anything anyway. I mean, genetically, we're predisposed to be fucked up.
It does matter, I think, because it's a slippery slope, right? Mm-hmm. If we start saying, all right, the word has no power, forget about it, everybody can use it. Okay, what's the next thing to say? Forget about everybody can do this. And then we forget our history and then we doom to repeat it, right? That's not good either. However, we cannot say that black people in America are treated worse than any other groups of people throughout history. I mean, Jews are getting persecuted now in countries. Palestinians are getting persecuted by Jews in Israel. You know, people fighting in Syria like crazy. People in South Africa, you got apartheid. Everywhere, that's all we've ever done. You know what I mean? Greeks fought Persians. Everybody knows the story of 300.
So to circle back, we're saying that way. You're not an advocate, but you don't care that they
say nigga.
Communities outside of the African American community use it, or you do care, or you care with like.
To me, it's like it's one of those things. For me, it's like specific. It's situational. So like, should all Mexican Americans? I don't have the answers.
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like if I could look at you and feel like, all right, you might not be black, but we have some of the same life experiences, right? Maybe we grew up impoverished in a certain area, then you're kind of given a pass versus if you're, matter of fact, even if you're a black person. I was called a nigga in Towson about 15 years ago. That's not how old I am. Maybe 10. Let's make it 10. I went to a party and we was dressed like niggas. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Had a bubble, like the Mace bubble jacket, all that type of shit. And it was a white girl. We was at Green Turn. And she was like, "Oh my God, who let the niggers in?" It was a black girl. My God.
The black girl said that?
Yeah. So then now it's not a race thing. It's not even color.
So
it's more like a class thing. She had like a. So now what are we really talking about? Is it the word? Or is it bigger?
You got black race. You
have black race.
You gotta. Racist.
But you can't.
But then guess what? It's not even black because like we were talking about earlier, you go talk to the Philippines or you go to Thailand or a lot of parts of Asia.
Yeah, they hate each other too.
The gradient in which you're color. If you're darker or lighter. They don't. It's not nigger. They don't use nigger, but they
like shit more than
the caste system in India. The caste system. It's something deeper, and we're almost arguing over the name of the affliction. Where the affliction, you can change the name or how you react to it, but still there.
So see, like, so peep this. So, growing up, family growing up in Jamaica. You know, in Jamaica there's a huge thing of colorism. You know, light-skinned Jamaicans, as opposed to dark-skinned Jamaicans.
You are light-skinned
my family, my family runs the gamut from super light-skinned to super dark-skinned, right? But even in the midst of my family, you would have situations where the light-skinned members of my family were looked upon more favorably than the dark-skinned members of my family. Now, that's not something that Jamaicans just came up with. You know what I mean? That is the history of the preference of white to dark skin within the West Indies. And for example, you take somebody like Bob Marley. Bob Marley hated himself for most of his life because he was light skinned. Because he said it was an accurate reflection of the white man who, you know, messed with his mother and brought him into the world.
You know what's funny about that though? Geneticists have talked about this. Us as a black people, we, without the introduction of any other, you know, white genes or whatever, we also run that whole gamut of like shit.
Yes. Yeah.
You have people of color that have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, like you. But not blonde hair, blue eyes, but like you're like, you know, you're like.
Yeah, you don't. It's not always because of colonialism. Some white man stuck his dick in the.
But that is true.
I don't know if that's really true.
Well, there are some.
You have people.
I want to say Guinea tribes.
Hold on. What's she saying? Hold on.
What?
People. I think that people look different based on the introduction of different genes.
Exactly.
There are people in Europe that have a very specific look, like really sharp noses, certain types of lips and eyes, and they're like 100% pure European, wherever they're from. It's the introduction of the different genes that change those features. So you have white people here, and then you got white people in Europe, and they look totally different.
Right.
But they're still white, of course.
But then it's also based on, if you go back far enough, it's because we all are trying to adapt to the climate.
Yeah,
That's really
exactly.
And we all basically looking at each other like we different because 10,000 years ago you adapted.
Race is an artificial construct, but it's become an actual prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It shapes our experience. Like everyone in this room, brother, all of us, and probably you too. You see flashing lights behind you. It doesn't even have to be you per se.
I feel safe.
You immediately just like.
Hey, nigga! You listen to me, nigga.
I mean, you immediately seize up just a
that
little bit.
That sounded too normal coming out of your mouth.
You automatically whatever you weren't doing before, like now you're aware of
automatic BGs. Isn't that weird? Automatic bubble guts.
Yeah.
Well, see, and here's the thing. Here's why I don't like non-black people saying the N-word. If a cop is gonna shoot somebody,
oh god,
like let's say a cop has a gun right here, he's like, "Die, you effing nigga!" Boom. It's always gonna be a black person. They're not gonna say that to a Mexican.
Tekashi 6ix9ine will. Whoa. Mexicans are getting persecuted in a way that we aren't right now even.
So
these motherfuckers are getting broken up and sent back over the border and then goddamn not concentration camps, but they said camps.
I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm not invalidating.
You didn't understand.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
At the other end of the barrel, he's not calling a Spanish dude a nigga. He's not calling anybody else other than the Canadian,
bro.
So that's also the point.
What is also true is that they're dealing with shit we're not dealing with.
Everybody is.
It's so crazy to say like my sad is worse than your sad, so you can't be sad. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm saying we gotta stop. We have to stop doing that. Like he should be able to be sad. I'm sad. We all sad. Now let's work on being happier together.
Not take ownership of that word. It's almost like we do kind of. Do they get the right to use the word? And we're saying no because you haven't had the same struggle as us.
And all you're doing is alienating people by doing that.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
You spent 400 years saying it whatever you felt like.
But so if that's the case, if that's the case,
it shouldn't be any.
Whoa. If that's the fucking case,
you own that shit. Just
if
like
this is the case,
you say I'm a fat boy, I got these rolls, whatever the case is. Whatever it is, when you own that shit, like that's what we as a community of minorities did. We own that word now. Yeah. Like that's where I feel like that's where we get a little bit of our power. That's where we started getting our power.
Hold on for
because if you say that, you're gonna get your ass whipped. So you know who to say it to and who to say it in front of because that's our power now.
So why you want that power over the ultimate power? But also, Steve, what did you just say? Because 400 years of slavery got us to where we should be.
Not for 400 years, but for X amount of years to this point, they have used that word to degrade us.
Yes.
Like Marvin said, when you get to the point now where instead of backing down from that word, you take that word and you give it a different meaning. So now, like you said, they know they can't say that shit to Marvin. Even if they don't know Marvin.
Yeah, but who is that?
Even if they don't. Let's say
not of the minority.
Yes. Yeah, but how does that make sense?
What do you mean?
How does that make any sense? Because you can't just group everybody outside of us. I'm not being contrarian. I'm telling you what I really feel. I'm telling you what I really feel. Just because most people don't feel that way.
Let's get talk real quick.
Here's the thing. Here's what I think. Everybody outside of us thinks they're better than us. They all do.
That's not true either.
They all do.
That ain't
just
true,
in general.
There's a reason.
I'm not saying specific
that's
people.
That's just not true,
but
yo.
Everybody thinks they're better. I grew up in Mississippi. There are poor people who don't have anything. Poor whites. My family was middle class. We had some nice things. People looked at us crazy. Mm-hmm. Even today, I have a degree. I have a job. I do things. I have side hustles, all that. People still look at me like, you shouldn't have what you have.
But Nina, you only know the world from your perspective. What about the perspective of the poor fucking Mississippi white person who was angry and
but what you not?
Whoa! Let me finish what I'm saying.
They use the word nigga? No.
Who's saying? When did I one time said I think they should use the word nigga? I'm talking about people and trying to understand each other, right?
Right.
These Mississippi white poor people who are afraid to really say what the truth is it's probably like they feel like they're being left behind in history. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit we doing now. All of this shit Like the shit they grew up on, and they stuck on farming and doing all that. That shit's done. So now they poor. They can't go to a coal plant and keep working. And now their life's worse than yours, even though they just want to hold on to that. But it's really just frustration and anger, not at you, but at the shit that life dealt with them. That's why everybody's mad. Yeah, when kids bully other kids in school, they don't bully kids because they feel good about themselves. They bully kids because they feel fucking.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So and it's like all we doing is just
It's not the same with race.
Okay, so
I do think it's retarded for black. Not retarded. That's not the word. Listen, that word is stupid, right? And we've changed it and made it a term of endearment, right? Yo, my nigga, my nigga. And then we're saying, hey, but only certain people can say it. And I feel like it is some truth to that, right? You haven't earned the right to be a part of this club. But then what fucking club do you want to be proud of? It, you know, it's like, it's not be disemboweled or like just erased, but it's like, it's stupid. We shouldn't even care that much about it. What we should worry about is like scarcity. One of the reasons why people really fight, regardless of race, religion, or creed. Yeah. Like if it ain't enough food, I'm gonna find a reason to hate you just for that. It don't have to be your color. We can both be white.
How about growth?
It's economic
growth.
Classism is really the issue. Oh yeah. The fact that I said my nigga, and then this Asian dude who also identifies with our culture says my nigga, and I'm mad at him. That's why I'm mad at him. There's bigger things to be mad about in this world. I feel like we're being fickle.
First of all, I'm looking at the small shit. I'm just saying, anybody. I said this when we first started this discussion. Is that I feel like if you're not white, then you are part of the minority. The minority was considered to be a nigga from the white people back in the day. No matter who you were, if you had a different skin complexion than them, you could be labeled as a nigga. So that's why I said I don't have no classism. There are white people who are not born with these rights of white privilege.
They don't.
They are born in towns where they're just as poor, if not poor.
This is a black people that stop. This is
both fighting over something that
this is a great topic, but we cannot talk about this for 35 minutes. We got to go on.
Well, you were so passionate about it.
I
was ready to move on 18 minutes.
I'm sorry.
You was like, no, but we gotta talk.
I'm sorry.
Let's lighten the mood.
All right. Yep. All right. So Diplomat's new album. Didn't know they had one. Sorry, nobody told me.
I haven't heard it. You heard it?
What?
We know this New York nigga.
Dipset?
Yeah, Dipset new album.
I heard about the new Dexys he got.
Listen,
oh shit. Santana. Hey.
Listen, he was on some stuff, my guy.
Oh shit.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
We can make this real quick. I don't really care. I like Dipset. I had a Dipset shirt, but come on, my nigga.
I want to hear. I want to hear.
I haven't heard it. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, it's
I ain't mad at it.
Is it like that? Is that classic Dipset? Like
yeah, it is.
Dipset. Like
it is. It is. But you know, it's. I don't know. I guess you gotta really be like
from New York. Yeah, take shit.
No, not even from New York. You just gotta be like a stand for it, because at this age, a lot of people are
not hearing that no more.
Right.
A lot of people, it's just like, you have to be into a certain type of hip hop, because a lot of people are not into that type of hip hop no more.
Yeah.
So
like it's a period piece.
So I guess it's a nice way to put it. Like, you know what I mean? It's a capsule into.
It's fun. It's like watching
New York 2002 to 2006.
Right.
Like,
and see, I love it.
Damn, that's a good point. It's like watching Belly.
Right now, just they just want to throw something in the pot real quick. Like, go ahead and catch some of this flavor.
It is good in a sense, and you see this a lot with other genres like a rock and roll or country, where they allow their old retired stars to continue to make money and tour. In hip hop, you don't get that. Once you reach a certain age, it's almost like you played. We don't want to hear that. Yeah. Well, it would be cool. I would go check like a Dipset, DMX. Method Man and Redman Rock. Like,
they had a bad boy.
Just giving us that bad boy
tour that went on.
That shit was sold out.
I wanted to go to that.
So did I. Like,
so that's cool, but I ain't gonna be checking. I'm gonna check for that little Total 112, all that. Like, what we got next?
All right, Rapid Fire. Transform. Rapid Fire?
All right, this motherfucking Rapid Fire. He was so motherfucking
sold up.
Passionate about that last topic.
All right, so how much are we giving for each topic, real quick? If it's Rapid Fire.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right, so I got to stop watch on.
We got 10 minutes.
Guess always goes first. All right. Does art transform society, or does society transform art?
Oh, that's a good one. Both.
Go ahead. Give us an explanation.
Does art?
We got 3 minutes.
Art transforms society, and then in that it gives us a different way of seeing everyday things. Society transforms art because of, I would say, technology. And like, just take social media, for example. Social media has changed how artists are becoming more expressive. They're making bigger artworks because they know that it's going to be captured through social media. So that's one way there.
Cool.
All right, you want my answer?
30 seconds.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
30.
All right. For most people, society transforms the art. But then you got like one person, probably a decade, right? Who is like that special person who transforms the whole society with their art. You know what I mean? Like,
you gonna say the
like a Kanye West that'll transform the sound of music. Or, you know what I mean? Different artists who I mean, it's like, or Bob Marley, he transformed society with his music. It's like, or even if you want to say boxing is art, like Muhammad Ali transformed.
Would
like the spirit of quickness.
Would coding and programming also be a form of artwork and how it's transformed? Like, you know,
Oh yeah.
Is that a form of artwork? The programmer looking at his work as art and how that's, you know,
Steve Jobs created something that transforms society. But it's not, how many people can do that? You know what I mean? It's not many. Most of us are ones who can work within the mainframe that is created. And then some people change it over time.
But some people actually have the ability to go all the way outside of that box and be able to stimulate something else from that. So that's why I'm like,
it's like creating shit out of thin air.
Yeah, both beautiful answers.
All right, cool. Well, that was 1 minute and 45 seconds. All right, next question. Don't worry about it. All right, so how would you feel if Instagram thoughts started calling themselves artists, like they do actresses?
Do they do artists? They say they're artists?
Well, not the artist word, but they'll say like it's a fitness guru. It's like that's plastic surgery.
And anybody seen you do a workout video yet?
They verify? A lot of them put artists next to their name.
Damn,
Thoughts?
Yes.
You know the thotties. You know the thotties when you see them.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Gus? Nina?
I don't think that makes any sense. What is your art?
Boobs.
Is a stripper an artist?
Certain strippers are. The ones that go from the pole, stop, they go back up, and
they like this one far away from the bottom.
But if you're just taking pictures and just showing,
good twerkers are too, though. Good twerkers are.
But these thotties ain't even strippers.
Yeah, sometimes
most of them just.
They just
chicks that just like
have big asses and they
not an artist.
I've actually never seen it.
I think that if a chick masters the way she can actually do certain things and actually turn it into like almost a dance routine, then you could kind of consider that a part.
That's art all day.
You know what I mean?
I'm on foot stripping.
Hold up, y'all seen girls who like flaunt their body? I guess you saying like thotty, right?
Yeah.
And then they also promoting their art on their pages. I haven't seen that.
That's what I'm trying to say. It hasn't really happened yet.
Well,
but when it does,
hey, look, hold on.
And they're gonna get all of the attention.
Time out. Since we talked about it, right? Has anybody seen that video with the chick and she's covered in all body paint and has twerk across her ass?
Yes.
We've all circulated that video.
Disgusting. Disgusting, and I will not stand for it.
Whatever.
Oh, that is art. That's art.
Huh?
She's transforming society.
She really did though.
It's amazing how she separated each butt cheek. It's excellent.
But I mean, she really went all the way to the wall with it though. Like she had the smokestacks out there while it was blowing and all that kind of stuff.
Is that art?
Like you said, is it art?
Is that art?
Do
you know what video he's talking about?
No.
Yeah, it's the City Girl. City Girl
just
video.
from the description. I mean,
City Girl.
it ain't.
I mean, you have chicks that do body paint all the time. And just
I'm gonna tell you something.
So
with her being a thotty, she most likely is being physically attractive, right? I'm assuming so. Because what do you?
No ugly thotties, bro.
You can't be an ugly thotty. So check this out. If she's at least mediocre with her art, whatever it be, like photography or painting, she'll be good. She has to be at least mediocre because she looks good everywhere else. Now, if she don't look good, then your art got to be that much better. So long as she look good, she could be like, color paint. What's the paint by number? She can do that.
Should the non-thotties be upset about that?
No, they're gonna jump on. As soon as they see that shit works, everybody gonna be the ass out painting. Same thing.
Is Nina
only the ones that can paint though?
Wait, am I what?
If somebody send Nina a 6-figure check and say, "Listen, when you doing your thing,
get naked
and twerk." I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it have to be 7 figures. But
probably like 5 figures. If it's like 12,
listen, if somebody's giving her a check every episode, like, yo, I'm paying you $100,000.
Not $100,000.
Not $100,000.
$12,000, $500.
I'll do it.
Look, somebody actually, when I was working on my channel and transitioned to locks, somebody was like, "You should name your channel Booty Locks."
Booty Locks.
Yes.
Rename.
Rebrand.
It's time to rebrand.
Show your hair and then show your booty, and then you'll get lots of.
I wouldn't watch it. Hold on, first of all, you already tell who I said I wouldn't watch it. These niggas ain't saying yet.
You were the one who said it. You were the one who told her that.
Look at me. I ain't watching.
Matter of fact, said changing the booty locks.
So hold up. So
under your alias.
Think of all people. First of all, he's seen a couple episodes with just the locks on it. So if you put booty in front of it after the man eats 100,
that's clickbait. If you looking back at the camera with your life like that, everybody.
That's what he told me to do.
It might be the movie, though. You might gotta sell out.
I was not gonna sell out.
Oh, come on, sell out. What we got next question?
That was actually pretty good. That was like 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes. I think this one's from Marcy, right?
It's a protein locks.
Okay.
What do I do about that coming in here?
Protein
locks? You missed that protein.
No, I heard it.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't expect anything more highbrow.
No, I heard
it. Have you ever faked an orgasm?
No, we would have never faked. Right, ladies?
Stop.
Ladies. Keep it real, ladies.
Answer.
Well, not with Marvin.
No. Not with Marvin.
Yo, my nigga, they gotta go home, my guy.
The question is for both sexes.
For me, listen, let me start.
How can a man fake an orgasm?
Oh, sir, shut the fuck up. I have faked at least 5. I'm gonna tell you why. These are the reasons why. Fellas, I want you to go, if it's the one, all right? Listen, stinky pussy.
Stinky pussy, I won't go
in it. Fake.
Shut up,
I won't be like,
sir, either you say or nothing. You say okay, listen, dry pussy. You can't pump that shit so long.
If the pussy's dry,
coconut
you
oil.
gotta do something to get it wet. Get it wet, bro. How about
I know. You gotta condom, sir. It don't just get wet with a condom.
Coconut oil, my nigga. Coconut oil.
All right. Let me start it over again. I said say or not.
Wet?
Fam.
Can you get a pussy wet?
Yes, it's called eating pussy. Relax. I can get there.
Okay.
Let's have fun.
I'm having fun.
All right, so listen. That too. All right, listen. This is the third one. You motherfuckers better say You ready?
No.
She has. God damn. You be like, yeah. She has no skills. Skills means she can't ride it. She can't throw it back. She dead fish. All right, and that's it. Top 3.
No. I gotta give you.
I'm like, yo, I gotta add one. My back hurt.
I gotta add one to it.
What you got?
When you either go on the second or third round, and you really just can't.
That's the only time.
You really just can't get it off.
That's the only time. That's the only time you can do it.
Because you.
I'm telling you, a fucking handshake. Oh, good job. No.
I've never faked an orgasm.
You a liar.
I know, I'm not lying.
I don't have one.
Oh, so you just get the best dick.
I know, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying.
She just look at you, didn't you?
That's actually crazy.
She just look at
all her
you.
exes are
I
like,
okay, and that's it. Like, I don't.
Oh, she hits it with the gentle.
Hold up. Hold
the gentle.
Oh my God! Imagine that, fellas.
Yo, somebody.
You just like
if one of her exes
I've had
now,
one girl disengaged one time. That shit killed my soul.
That's happened to me. Actually, I was
Don't give a date because he's gonna.
I'm not gonna give a date, but I was elevated, and
you already told me. Like, that was me. I elevated.
But yeah, I disengaged, and he actually got upset, and he was like, "I'm doing all this work, and you laying here, daydreaming
little
around."
clown.
I'm like,
what was the face? Look at the camera. Shows your disengaged face.
Just.
Oh my God, that's a damn face. That's a damn. We can't see you, but you show us your disengaged face. You better watch this.
She didn't answer the question. She's got to answer the question.
What's her question?
No, our question.
I know she's.
You did say it?
Every girl expected orgasm.
She said she hasn't faked one.
If I didn't have one, I didn't have one.
So you got disengaged face too.
Yeah.
That's the
If
face
I
ain't
didn't have one, I didn't have one.
Right.
Look at Steve. Steve
You got him with a little drool on the back to make sure it was like something that actually came out. Like,
you know what's funny? I don't have a disengaged face. I always feel like if I gotta come, I don't want to make my partner feel bad that she's not making.
So you
come.
spit on her back and treat it like it's cum.
You evil fucking women. You even disengaged face women. You just crush us with your faces.
But okay, here's the thing though. I don't fake an orgasm, but I'm not mean afterwards. Like, I'll be comforting or whatever.
Oh, that's words. Don't comfort me. I'm not making bucks.
You feel terrible.
Next time I'm down.
No, I don't.
She's patting your head like, next time.
Yo, you mean in your head like, I'm going to come back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, for real.
But I mean, what I'm saying is, I'll just like caress him and all that. I won't say it's a
fuck.
Go outside, get some
I'll
push-ups.
just be gentle. I won't be like, that was whack.
Yo, real talk, don't caress me.
No,
lie to me. You did great.
Best shit I ever had in my life.
Yeah, now I'll take the lie. Because I know you lied, but at least the lie's out there. At least you care for my Baby, it's all right. You know, next time you'll do better.
All right, last question.
Last question. Y'all evil.
White girls don't do that. That's not nice.
Hey, do you want to do that?
I guess, I don't know.
Last question.
Never had to get rest, bro.
Oh, you just satisfy everybody, don't you?
Do what I can.
All right. Is a place of peace from within, or is it based on how orderly your life is?
From within.
Order.
I got one more question after this because we get to none of my question. That shit trash. No, that's actually good.
Yeah. Go to one of yours after this.
Yeah, sure.
Orderly.
Orderly?
Mm-hmm.
Is it from within or what?
Is it from in, or is it like how orderly your life is? Like how everything is going on around you, life-wise, like, you know, bills, all that kind of stuff, for you to actually have peace? Or is it just from within, where no matter what's going on outside of you, gotcha.
You can only control what you can control. Sometimes life will throw you a mother. Listen, at one point in her life, she found out she was, you know, battling lupus. And she had a certain way she could react to it.
She said, what is that, ugly? That's me.
Was it the wrong one?
No, you said at one point in her life, she found out she was ugly.
I said ugly.
Oh, no.
That's me.
I'm joking. I'm highly joking.
And listen, you got a few ways you can do it. Matter of fact, I have a relative through my wife's side who just didn't give a fuck. He just continued to fuck his body up and he eventually, you know, passed from it.
So I need you to pick one of your questions. So, you know,
oh, this is my question about dreadlocks. So we know black women, when y'all get y'all hair done, can't nobody get near, can't touch it. It might even fuck up a fuck nut. He come home, you know what I'm saying? You get the squatches, your testosterone levels is high, you ready to get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? Get some pussy. And then your girl got her hair done, and now you like, don't touch my hair, move, it's all wrapped up. You don't even see it. You can't even see how good it looks when you get your dreadlocks twisted, right? How soon?
I ain't fucking with the lights on.
To the time that he twisted it, you can have sex, and can he touch it? So how soon? I guess you twisted your hair at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
First of all, you gotta find out if you can.
All right,
and then
all right, can he?
How
can he see it and also touch it?
No, he can't touch it.
All right, so how far into the it ain't fresh no more can he touch it?
I would say honestly, like maybe after the first day. Just let me have one day of fresh hair, and then the next day.
Said we gotta say what the fuck.
So she can get 1,000 selfies in real quick, change the outfit 3 times, and then fuck it. And then
yeah.
That's my question.
Dreads is like resilient. I love dreads on a woman. Sorry, but yeah, there's like to me, I think that one of the most resilient hairstyles that a woman, yes, because it's like
they don't mess up.
Yeah, she can get her hair
done. The roots are the
roots.
Absolutely. You gotta retwist that every now and again, but. It will hold for a minute. Sometimes all it needs is a twist, and it's right back to being, oh, you got your hair yesterday? No, I retwisted my hair. I'm like, oh, really? That's all it took? Oh, okay.
Don't dreads? You supposed to like have like the roots untwisted?
No, that's Rastafarians who do that.
That's freeform locks, but I guess cultivated.
That's what I'm asking.
All right then. I guess we're.
So I didn't think that it came from within.
Oh, yeah. What do you think it is?
Environment.
I think it's environment.
Your parents, you got no control over like your inner peace when you're a kid. Your parents could be yelling at you and cussing each other out. What can you do about that? You grow, it fucks you up through your whole life.
Play video games.
You know, if your mom does cocaine while you're in the womb, that's external. Nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. And if she did, and you busy trying to figure out what's going on within when you're 25, but you got an addiction because of that, then it's tough to say which one it was.
I think that's true. But I also think, like, wherever you start from, you do have to find something within in order to eventually find peace. Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things you can't control.
I think that even
I lived through a bunch of fucked up shit, and
I think even if you could be, I mean, we see it all the time from people who, you know, great movie actors, singers, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They have all this money and everything like that, but they never found that place of peace from within. So ultimately, that's what made them commit suicide. Mm-hmm. I think that if you don't have that peace from within, no matter what goes on outside, then there's nothing that's going to be able to replace that. No matter how good everything else outside is, or how worse it is. Like, you have some people, like I saw this one meme And it had this homeless dude and this homeless woman outside. They was sitting on milk crates, but they had a cup of coffee and they was chilling. They looked like they was living their best life. But that's all.
I doubt that that's a.
But was that a picture?
It was a picture.
It was a picture.
Like a still picture.
Yeah, like a still picture.
So you didn't see what they did a half hour before that?
No, or a half hour after either. So I'm just saying, it made you understand that it kind of made me see that no matter what your situation is, you got to find that peace so that way you don't take yourself all the way to the edge. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I also think, like,
let's end with positivity.
If you,
sir, let's end with positivity. Because we know you're going to be like, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Hold on. Let me get it back. Let me get it back. I'm going to Christmas cookies. You know what I'm saying? Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Wait a minute, real quick.
Don't bad. Just like I'm about to smack. Okay, let's give a hand clap to Nina Renee. Came on. Thank you so much. Where can they find you if they want to find you?
So you can go to my locks page, Nina Locks, NINALOCS. My personal page is curated by Nina, CURATED, forgetting how to spell, by Nina. And my YouTube channel is The Girl Book, one word, by Nina.
You got it.
The Booty Locks.
If I can say, listen,
yes.
they all good platforms, but her YouTube channel, she's surprisingly funny. Not saying you weren't funny now, but she's funny as shit. Check it out.
Thank you. I try sometimes.
All right, make sure y'all check us out. NotSafeForEars@gmail.com if you want to get any questions to us. Check us out on Instagram at NotSafeForEars. We on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure y'all download it. Make sure y'all subscribe on the YouTube channel. Thank everybody for tuning in. Shout out to the sponsor, WithLove.BEA. Hand poured soy wax fragrance scented. And we out. Beat.